So today is the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Today is November 10th. I'm recording this. And if you've ever served or know someone who has, you already know being a Marine isn't something you do. It is something you are. And we're going to talk about that today as it applies to business and some Marine Corps leadership principles we will also apply to your business. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Hey, welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we discuss steps to successful entrepreneurship, how to take your business to new heights, and ultimately follow your dreams. Again, lessons from the few and the proud. I am proud to have served in the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi basically means faithful to God and country and all others. Always faithful. It's taught me a lot of things being a Marine. It's taught me a toughness that I didn't have before. It taught me a sense of readiness that I didn't have before, and I applied it to my business multiple times and in many different ways. And it has taught me a purpose, to have a purpose in what you do and apply it strongly in business. And you don't have to wear a uniform, or you don't have to have wore a uniform to be to think, act, or lead like a Marine. I can give you some principles that you can apply in your life that'll change your business, that'll change your leadership skills, and that'll change your team to be better and better as you grow. So, we take it for granted today what our armed forces do for us, even when the government's shut down. But Marines never shut down. Just like a heating and air conditioning company in Dayton, Ohio, 24/7, 365, we never shut down. We were on call 24/7, 365. And their Marine Corps is first to fight, first to protect, and first to lead. And once you've been one, you're always one. It doesn't go away. You're not a former Marine. You're not a previous Marine. You are a Marine. And think about that within your company. There should be some sort of pride in your company. My last meeting at McAfee Heating and Air, I sold my business this year. We closed on the deal June 27th. My last meeting was September 27th. It was a Saturday morning. And I wanted to tell my team something that I had not told them before, and darn it, I forgot. But it was, I told them a lot of things, but I forgot to tell them this. If you're into your company and you are loyal to your company and you love your company, you will follow your company on every social media there is that your company is on. And you will like things, and you will add to things, and you will talk about things. It's powerful. But if you don't, you probably won't. And that starts at a high level of management. Every high-level manager should be on social media liking what the company posts, supporting what the company posts. You better believe in the Marine Corps, Marines support what Marines do today. We're backing them. We're supporting them. We're behind them. And we're proud of them. So There's a spirit within the Marine Corps that's really unlike any other service in the armed forces. And we talk about what sets us apart is the discipline. And you've got to have discipline to run a business. You've got to have a discipline about you to be number one in your territory or number one in the world. I mean, whatever you're shooting for, you've got to have discipline. You've got to have a purpose. You've got to have teamwork. Teamwork applies to following your company on social media. So I'll review. You've got to have a discipline, a purpose. You got to have teamwork, and you've got to sacrifice things. And if you're in business, you as the owner need to sacrifice things. I will reiterate and reiterate and reiterate this as much as I need to. But please don't tell me that your family time is more important than your business. Because without your business, you probably wouldn't have family time. And I'm not saying family time's not important. It's extremely important. But so's your business. And there's a fine balance. There's a fine balance there. How much time do you put in your business and how much time do you put in your family? And I say this often, but most of the people who want to talk more about family time than they do their business probably aren't spending as much time with their family as they need to. So Marines do not make excuses. We tell it straight what's going on. If we make a mistake, we confess and move on. And we follow through with things. That needs to be done within your business all day long. And we protect those who cannot protect themselves. There's a lot of people under your wing at your company. There's a lot of new people that have just been hired. There's people that need to be taken care of. There's people who need to be protected. Put them with really, really good people to be trained from. You can take the Marine out of the Corps, but you can't take the Corps out of the Marine. Meaning the habits, the mindset, the discipline, and actually what's in their DNA. If you lead a team, if you run a business, if you manage or lead and raise a family, you can lead like a Marine. And you can set the standard. You can hold the line. And you can fight for what's right within your company. I fought for many things that were right. I wanted to take care of my customer better than anyone else. So I had guidelines, rules, whatever you want to call them, discipline to take care of the customer better than anyone. And my result from that, leaders lead from the front and people follow willingly, not out of fear. You see, leadership isn't about rank. It's about responsibility. And if your company's not growing, it's probably because you're lacking leadership in it. And it starts at the top with you. So every Marine knows that discipline beats motivation every day of the week. You do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And there are days where you do not feel like it. You're human. You're normal. And the result is consistent actions lead to consistent success in your life and in your business. I often say, show me a successful business and I'll probably show you 90% of the time a successful life because they're disciplined. Now, if you're out of balance, you're out of balance. That's the other 10%. If you're out of balance either way, you're out of balance. Either your family's going to suffer, your business is going to suffer. So we lead from the front, and then we embrace discipline. And then number 3, we take the initiative. We don't wait around for someone else to do it. We take the initiative. We're trained to act. Marines are trained to act. and not wait for orders sometimes. We just act. We see something that needs done and we do it, and we fix it, and we move on. In business and life, opportunities disappear when we hesitate. See, if you're hesitating, you're waiting too long. Things are not going to be done right. They're not going to be done on time. You've got customers that are going to have to wait. You've got team members who are going to have to wait, and team members don't like to wait. Their trucks should be fully stocked. Their trucks should be ready for the next call. A technician or an installer should never be seen at a supply house. As you grow and you have enough people for this, you should have a driver, a pickup person who picks up parts, takes it to the service tech or takes it to the office, warehouse, and gets it to the technician or installer fast so the customer can get back up and running and be comfortable again. And so in business and in life, opportunities disappear when we hesitate. And the result, rather, is decisive people earn trust and results. Number 4, never leave a man behind. You know, I think about that, and I think about our air duct cleaning division, which we started a few years after we started McAfee Heating and Air. And from day one, we always had a 2-man crew. There were other companies that came in, and they had a 1-man crew and a 1-person crew, and there was no accountability. You know, air duct cleaning, we're in every room of the house, every single room of the house, under beds, in bathrooms, everywhere. And we always had 2 people basically to hold each other accountable and to get the job done more efficiently and to get the job done right, to get the job done faster without cutting any corners. But we never leave a man behind. Marines take care of their own. And if you own a business, you should be taking care of your own. Teamwork is everything. Great leaders protect their people and help them grow. Train, train, train some more. That was one of our slogans years ago. We train, train, and train some more. And the result is loyalty builds an unstoppable culture, which we had at McAfee. We were known for our culture of what we stood for. Number 5, Marines adapt and overcome. You've heard that before. The Marine Corps' motto in the field is improvise, adapt, and overcome. And you've got to do that as a leader. You've got to improvise at times. You can't follow a rule book. Not everything follows a rule book. You've got to improvise, and then you've got to adapt, and you got to help your people adapt. Not everything works out perfect. Not every job goes well. Honestly, if you get 3 out of 10 jobs that are smooth, you're doing good, because you never know what you're going to run into in the field, in a home, on the job. And conditions change all the time. Leaders adjust and push forward. And the result is resilience under pressure earns long-term victories. And lastly, number 6, serve a higher purpose than yourself. Marines know they serve something bigger than themselves. It's called country, honor, and God. I would probably put God first. But country, honor, and God. The same applies in leadership. The result is purpose fuels perseverance. We hang in there. We've got tenacity like no other. We hang in there till the end. When you know your why, you can endure any how. And you got to know your why. Why are you in business? What do you do? Why do you do what you do? Who do you serve? Who is your customer? Why do you serve them? What is the goal to be for you? What is your goal? Why? Why is it your goal? When you know your why, you can endure any how. You know, we talk a lot in the Marine Corps about faith and freedom. We fight for freedom, not fame. The Marines don't just serve a flag, they serve a cause that's rooted in faith and honor. When I ran McAfee, I served a cause. It was to do for my customer what others weren't willing to do. It was a cause. It was a passion. It was a goal. Serve. You know, if you tie in the idea that true freedom comes from God, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And Ephesians 6:10 through 11 talks a lot about putting on the armor of God. In the Marine Corps, there's many specific ways of doing something, and putting on your armor is one of them. How to put on your boots, how to put on your helmet, how to carry your rifle, how to put on a vest. Everything that's done is for a purpose and a reason, and putting on the armor of God is important. Ephesians 6:10 calls for believers, those who believe in Jesus, believe in God, and serve Him. The devil believes in God, so anyone can believe. But when you serve Him, you're in. You're all in. Dedicated. And so it's a call for believers to be strong in the Lord and in strength of His might, and to put on the whole armor of God so they can stand against the schemes of Satan. Satan knows us well. He has schemes to trip us up. And this passage is the introduction of the famous armor of God section, which uses a metaphor of a Roman soldier's armor to explain how to resist spiritual attacks. The verses emphasize relying on God's power and not our own strength. You know, I pray every day for our president that he would rely more on God than his own strength. And then I pray for me that I would rely on God more than my own strength. And we must be spiritually prepared for battle. The Marine Corps, we're prepared for battle. In the world, we've got to be spiritually prepared for battle. And same principles, how we live, how we lead, and how we give back or pay it forward, I like to use. If you give something back, that means you've taken it. If you pay it forward, you're taking what you've learned or what you've been blessed with, and you're paying it forward to someone else. So whether you're leading a business, a family, or just trying to lead yourself, you can borrow a page from the Marine Corps Leadership Manual, and it's called Discipline. It's called Courage, and it's called Faith. So as we close here, Marines don't quit. We just find another way. There were many times in my business over the last 35 years of running McAfee Heating and Air that I had to find another way. The way of business changes all the time. And the way we do things should change all the time. There are some things that are going to be standard, and you're going to do those things the same way, but other things change every day. And you've got to stay up with the changes. You've got to stay up with what's going on in technology. And the more you do that, the better off you're going to be, and you're going to continue to put yourself way ahead of everybody else. So, you know, we take this for granted, but the world sleeps peacefully because a few still stay ready and protect this country 24/7, 365 days. So to my fellow Marines, happy 250th birthday, Semper Fi, and to everyone listening, whatever your battle, face it with courage, lead from the front, and stay faithful to your calling. Thanks for listening. Please share this with someone else and like this podcast. I would appreciate it. Carry on. God bless. Make this day the best day of your life, because we're not promised tomorrow. I'll see you later.